Shout out Sniper T on the beat.
Tamara to the break of dawn is on the rise, with life on the forefront of the mind. So line for line, you can ride this brain train and you can change your station without even touching the dial. So relax, stay a little bit, but listen for a while. And whether you're bumping this in the whip or in a business fit, it's a meeting you won't want to miss. A meeting for a meal to feed the soul with words for the mind. So sit back, enjoy the ride. Time to take off, it's time to fly. Cause Tamara till the break of dawn is on the rise.
Hey, y'all. It's me, Tamara. Yes, studio audience, welcome back. Welcome to the show, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. For my new listeners, new episodes drop every Thursday. I usually talk about my life, my interests, and the ways I'm trying to grow. So come on back through, you feel me? And for all my day 1, 7, 33, 127, whenever you came in, to all my regular listeners, thank you so much for your continued support. If you're not, you should totally follow me on social media, and the link to that is in the episode notes, as well as the link to my YouTube channel, which you should totally subscribe to. It's free 99 for y'all to support me in this way, and I subscribe back if you have a channel, so go ahead and, hit up that subscribe link, you feel me? So, welcome, guys. Obviously, I'm feeling better because the show is back to normal intro and all that good stuff. Man, it has been wild. Like, it's crazy because 2 of my kids were sick. I didn't get sick, but I just like, hey, man, Lord, keep me protected from whatever, because I don't got PTO or none of that. If I don't meet with clients, I don't make money. You know what I'm saying? So it has been really interesting with that. I finally have a better plan in place as far as furnishing our house. So I don't know why I feel like I need to share this with you. Actually, I do, because it's the rebuild, you feel me? So we're going to get a washer and dryer. That is the next thing that we're going to get, in a deep freezer. Then we're going to get a dining room table. Then we're going to get living room furniture. Then I'm going to get my bedroom set, and the kids are going to get their own bedroom stuff or whatever. And the reason we're kind of doing it in that order is because I had to be really strategic about, okay, what is beneficial to all of us? Like, what do we need as a family? And then what do I need individually that's just for me? Because, like I told my kids, if y'all buy your own beds, you'll get a bed quicker. Because if you wait on me to buy it, which, I mean, if they need me to, that's fine. But I told them I'm not going to get one of us beds. If I'm going to get our beds, I'm going to get us all beds. And I'm going to do the other areas of the house first, because I want to enjoy my living room. I want to eat at a dining room table when I eat, instead of either eating in my room or standing over the island in the kitchen or whatever. And also, I want to start having people over. Like, I'm not like I want to have my friends over every day type person, literally at all. That is not me. But I do like to have game nights. I do like to host stuff. And so it's like, I have been without my own place for a year and a half before we moved into here. And so it's kind of like I'm ready to get to it. Kayliana's 21st birthday is in May, so she wants to have a party. And so we'll definitely be fully furnished before then. Shout out to the increased clientele. Like, it's just kind of crazy how, as soon as I moved here, and then my kids got better work schedules to where it's all kind of synced up and all that good stuff. Once we got that in place, it's like I was at a place to where I could really take more clientele, and then bam, you know what I'm saying? So it's just so dope how I know I'm going to be able to quickly furnish my place, and shout out to the Lord for providing the clientele. But let's go ahead and get into Tamara's takeaway, y'all. And for those of you watching, you'll see on the screen the tweets and all this stuff. Now, this week I have found the wildest story that I can't even believe this thing is a thing. And I like randomly came across it, and bruh, I started digging, going all through the thread and all that good stuff. So it says, author Susan Meechan died from suicide 2 years ago, except it turns out she didn't. What an absolute piece of shit. I'm just reading what the tweet says, if you can't see it on the screen, if you're not watching, which you totally should. So the original tweet, or I think this is from a face or some sort of authors group or whatever, but the original thing says from October 22nd, 2020, please share. Before Susan Meachin passed away, she had written her last book, Love to Last a Lifetime. She wanted to have it published by her daughter's wedding. This is it. It is on pre-order now for $199. Release date is October 30th. So apparently what I found out is that her daughter said that she committed suicide because she was bullied by authors in the author community. And then on 18 hours ago from whenever I found this, and I found this tweet on January 3rd. So around beginning of the new year, new year, new her, let me pop on back, you feel me? So then she posted, I debated on how to do this a million times and still not sure if it's right or not. There's going to be tons of questions and a lot of people leaving the group, I'd guess. But my family did what they thought was best for me, and I can't fault them for it. I almost died again at my own hands, and they had to go through all that hell again. Returning to the ward doesn't mean much, but I am in a good place now, and I am hoping to write again. Let the fun begin. So she just like came back as if she hadn't been supposed to be dead for a couple years. Now let me find this other thing. Okay. So when I started doing some more digging today, it says allegedly this Susan person, I won't say this Susan person. So allegedly Susan did an interview and she said the best fiction is rooted in fact. The events may not be authentic, but the emotions are. Since 2020, that's been my life and death. Did I leave the mortal coil? No. But the pain was real. You can't just take a break from that, not unless the bullies take a break too, which was basically all I wanted. I died not physically, but spiritually. The bullying stopped, and I was finally able to breathe, ironically, when people believed I stopped breathing. They knew how far I was pushed and finally saw the toxicity. Things actually improved, not just for me, but for others. You can criticize the means, but you can't deny the end. Y'all. So basically, this woman is saying that she was bullied by authors in the author community. I did not know the author community was that wild. Learned something, recently. But apparently, she was bullied to the point that she felt she needed to not really commit suicide, but fake her death and have her daughter, if her daughter is even real, because I was like doing just a lot of digging and I'm not going to go into all that. But my takeaway from this, the interesting thing is that her book sales went out of control after she allegedly had committed suicide. And then on top of that, apparently there were like funds and fundraisers and all this stuff where people raised money for her family. But Tamara's takeaway from all of this, let's get into the book sales. So, Susan, if you needed marketing or sales help, just say that. You didn't have to do all that to sell your books. I get it that you're trying to say it was because you were being bullied and all this stuff, but when you take into consideration the book sales, I even saw where like authors got together and like wrote a book about bullying. They dedicated it to her. The funds from that again went to her family because she was supposed to be dead by the hands of herself because of being bullied by authors. So, ma'am, if you needed help with marketing and sales or even money, just say that. You know what I'm saying? You did not have to do all that. So, that is Tamara's takeaway for the week. It has been an interesting week just in my life. I am still behind on a lot of things. I had to redo, I told y'all, the client project. And so I've started on that. And it's just been wild because I can't find like certain websites that I use to kind of like find information about certain things. I'm unable to find. It's been really, really annoying, but I'm pressing through to get it done because I have to get it done. You know what I'm saying? But it's just been extremely frustrating. I've been very tired. I don't even know why. But one thing I do know is that I need to have better eating habits. Now, it's not that I eat like a bunch of fast food or a bunch of crazy food. It's I need to actually eat. Like, I will be so go, 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 especially the way that I have my clients set up, where there are days that I'll like leave the house at 11:30 and don't come back until I pick my kids up from work and come home. And it's crazy because I don't work a 9 to 5. So it's not even like I'm gone for a super duper long time. But the thing about it is it's back to back to back appointments and I won't eat. You know what I'm saying? And so I got to have better eating habits because I have to fuel my body so that I can actually do what I need to do. I know I need to get back to working out because I just had better overall energy and all that good stuff. So these are things that I'm trying to like get myself back together. You know what I'm saying? It's just wild how transition, even good transition, like finally moving into our own place and all that good stuff. That is great. That is amazing. Literally every day I look around and I'm just like, man, thank you, God, that we are in our own place. I would have taken any type of 4 bedroom space just for us to be on our own. You know what I'm saying? But the fact of where we're at and all that is just so amazing. But it's an adjustment and it's transition. And yeah, it's an adjustment. And it's even like having to establish certain like expectations of my kids as far as sure your friends can come over as long as they're out of the house by a certain time, but I had to like there has to be one work day where no one can come over because I don't need people in my house every day. I've literally had one friend over like right after we moved in and I'm very content. Like sure, game nights and like events and stuff like that I like to host, but just having people come over every day on a work day just because, no, I've like been with people all day. I just want to be in the house by myself. But I try to be considerate of my kids, you know what I'm saying? They want to have their friends over there, whatever. So we had to like agree to one day a week, and I had to pick like Monday through Friday when I work. One day a week, no one can come over. Please don't ask because it would be like they tried to coordinate for themselves. So I told them each, yeah, so and so can come over, but I don't want them over here every day. So like when one person's friend, there'd be a break, then it seems like the other person would come in after their break. Like they just weren't coordinating and working together. And I was starting to get irritated, but I wouldn't necessarily say no, the person couldn't come over because I'm like, okay, I have to be considerate of the fact that this is their house too. Like, yes, I'm the mom, but they pay rent to live here. So it's kind of like I try to be considerate of that because I would hate to pay rent somewhere and like not be able to have company and all this stuff. Like, why am I paying to stay there? You know what I'm saying? So, like, I try to be considerate of all these things. And so I'm grateful that we came up to this compromise to where Mondays, nobody can come over. Like, don't even ask. But then that also means if you want to have your friend over the other 6 days, like, mentally, that just lets me know that, okay, I can endure 6 days of people in the house because I know this one day nobody's gonna come over, and it's kind of like it just is what it is. Because you got to compromise when you live with other people. But this is gonna be a short episode, so let's go ahead and get into this week's weekly wisdom. Now, it's very interesting because as I mentioned earlier, my income has increased. Like not only is it that I have recovered my salary finally, but I have exceeded it. Now, granted, got to buy all this furniture for the house and stuff first, but that's not going to take me that long. But once we get past that, it'll just be okay, I have just income coming in. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't have to go towards like big purchases. The next thing I want to do after I furnish the house is get another vehicle. And then that'll be like the last big thing that I need to get, right? And so it's really interesting because even prior to leaving my previous job, gosh, this goes back, I want to say for like, we'll say since like 2017, it was just a struggle financially for various different reasons. And it's very interesting because sometimes, like the song that's been going through my head lately is when Drake's like, I've been down so long, it looked like up to me, right? That song has always resonated with me because sometimes you're in a struggle for so long that one, it just seems like that's all it's going to be. So that's one, you know what I'm saying? You feel hopeless about that particular situation, maybe not about life in general, but about that particular situation, and you may see no way out of it to where it'll ever change. So that's one. But then two, then when things change, and this is what the Lord has really been just reminding me in the last, for sure, like week or so, is like, I am not in that struggle anymore at all. You know what I'm saying? And so as a result of that, I have to act accordingly. I don't have to have this scarcity mindset because I'm not in scarcity financially. Like, even though, yes, I have to spend money on buying new furniture, literally new everything, and rebuilding our house, but like I can, you know what I'm saying? And it's like I can do it how I want to go get what I want. And I've actually never had that when it comes to furniture. It's been like people give me stuff or get stuff from wherever or, stuff like that. But now it's like, okay, like what do I want this space to look like? What do I want this space to feel like? What do I want the decor and dishes or kitchen appliances or whatever? It's kind of like it takes, though, me not having the trauma of the past, for lack of a better word. Like, I can't let the trauma of the past hinder me from embracing the reality of what's actually happening now, because like we're not in scarcity anymore. We're not in lack anymore. And so I kind of have to it's very interesting because it's like this, not like struggle, but it's like this battle where I have to be like intentional, like, okay, we need this. Okay, I can just go get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to figure this out or figure whatever out. It's kind of like, okay, the rent, it's so funny because it's not like how am I going to pay my rent, because I was there at one point in my life just because of the type of work that I was doing, and they were always paying me late and all that stuff. So it's not about like how am I going to pay my rent or having all these late fees and all this stuff. My biggest battle was like, I've never done bill pay where the bank sends a check. I usually will pay things like they'll have Venmo or they'll have electronic payment methods or something to where I could pay bills. Well, this homeowner does not have that. It's only check or money order. And so my biggest battle, it's not like how am I going to pay my rent? It's trying to figure out bill pay, realizing that as long as the post date is before a certain date, I won't have to pay a late fee, because I thought it like had to be there before the 5th. And so I was kind of stressing because I'm like, bro, I'm going to have to like actually still go to the bank or write a check or whatever, which I don't even have checks, and I probably should get some, but I haven't really had a need for it. And now that I figured out the whole bill pay thing, I still don't need to, you know what I'm saying? But like that's the struggle, not how am I going to pay it as far as come up with the money while I'm waiting to get paid for the work that I did. Now it's like, how do you figure out bill pay? How do you whatever? And so it's been this interesting thing where I've had to like retrain my brain that, again, I can't let the trauma of the past keep me stuck and like hinder me from embracing the reality of what's actually happening right now and moving forward. So that is my encouragement to y'all. Again, as I said, this is going to be another short episode. Make sure you take care of yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. Be healthy in your relationships. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will talk to you soon. Bye.
Ladies and gents, this concludes transmission. Tune in next time for a whole new edition. Another adventure and mission to share, be heard, and clarify the vision of this whole new world for Tamara.